Hey everybody, it's Tim Miller with the Bulwark. Okay, happening right now outside of the courtroom where Michael Cohen is testifying in the Donald Trump business fraud Stormy Daniels case is Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, along with MAGA blowhard from Ohio, J.D. Vance. They went to give some moral support to Donald Trump today since his family hasn't been showing up to these hearings. Eric actually showed up today, but mostly the family's not there, weirdly, supporting their patriarch. Well, I guess not that weirdly when you consider a lot of the testimony is about how he is cheating on his wife and, the stepmother or mother of the children, depending on whether you're Barron or one of the other kids. And so he has his new family. The Republican senators who want to suck up to him in the most ostentatious way possible. They are there to support him. And after 90 minutes of this morning's hearing, they'd seen enough and came out front of the courtroom to hold a press conference, since that's what this was all about in the first place. And I want to just break down the absurdity of this clip by clip. Here's Tommy Tuberville.
First of all, I'm disappointed in the courtroom. I'm hearing Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump. He is former President Trump. Give him some respect. I mean, that's what that place is in there. It's no respect. Here's what I'm seeing, too. It is depressing. That courtroom is depressing. This is New York City, the icon of our country. And we got a courtroom that's the most depressing thing I've ever been in. The Republican candidate for President of the United States is going through mental anguish in a courtroom that's very depressing. Very depressing.
Oh, no. Oh, no, the poor criminal. The poor criminal suffering mental anguish. The accused criminal, excuse me. I wonder if Stormy Daniels went through any mental anguish when Donald Trump forced himself on her and his gross tongue was penetrating her mouth, and she had a security guard outside after she thought they were going to dinner. I wonder if she suffered any fucking anguish. Poor Donnie Trump suffering mental anguish in the courtroom. Okay, woe is me. You also have Tommy Tuberville's unhappy that they're not showing him the respect he deserves. They're not calling him President Trump. They're calling him Mr. Trump. Sorry, tough break. This isn't the Habsburgs. All right, this is not. We're not a European monarchy. All right, the president is of the people, by the people, and for the people. The president is called Mr. President for a reason. Dates back to the very founding of our republic. John Adams wanted to call the president His Excellency or some crazy shit like that. And George Washington was like, nope. In America, the president will be representative of the people, and I'll go by Mr. President. So Donald Trump gets called Mr. Trump like every other defendant, and he's lucky he gets called that. He deserves worse. Okay, let's check out one more clip here.
I'm glad to stand by President Trump. I'm a friend of his. I'm here more as a friend than backing him as candidate as president. I'm sitting there listening to a guy on the stand that they had to get out of house arrest because he lied in another court to testify in this court. He's a convicted felon.
He's here as a friend, he says. He's here as a friend, just a little support blankie. And he's upset that a guy that is a convicted felon that they had to get out on house arrest, Michael Cohen, is the one testifying against him. He's just mad that he has to listen to this convicted felon testify against Donald Trump. Big problem with that, though. The convicted felon that's testifying against Donald Trump was convicted for doing the same crime that Donald Trump did. It's not like he's got a murderer up there testifying against him or something. He's got Michael Cohen, who was wrapped up in the same conspiracy to defraud the American public, to not publicly file a campaign finance report because they wanted to hide from the public the fact that the candidate was cheating on his wife, the fact that he had a long time catch and kill regime with a tabloid newspaper. He wanted to hide this from the public so that he could be elected president. He did a fraudulent filing on his business papers while he was trying to cover the stuff up. That's the crime here. That's the crime that Michael Cohen went to prison for, and that's why he is on the stand. So, yeah, when you do crimes, you end up dealing with some unsavory people. Michael Cohen's an unsavory person. I'm no Michael Cohen fan, all right? But this whole woe is me act and this whole, Michael Cohen is this very untrustworthy person is a fine thing to say if you're not using it to defend Donald Trump, who is the mastermind of the plot, who is the person that was telling Michael Cohen to break the law in order to protect him from having to deal with the consequences of his own actions. So there's that. Tommy Tuberville is one other weird little bit here I want to take a look at.
I am disappointed in looking at the supposedly American citizens in that courtroom.
This comment there, the supposedly American citizens, I don't even know what that means. I get like, look, these guys, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail. Like when you're an anti-immigrant bigot, everything has to be about the border. I don't know who, I guess maybe saw a brown person in the courtroom and thought maybe that person is not an American citizen because, in the Alabama way of life, you have to be white and sound like Foghorn Leghorn to be a true American citizen. But I'm pretty sure that everybody in the courtroom, certainly the judge, certainly the jury, are American citizens. And this is just another example of this grotesque, racist dog whistling that these guys use to try to stir up a bunch of dust in defense of Donald Trump. One other thing on all these clips, you can see J.D. Vance in the background there. They both had a chance to speak, but I wanted to focus on Senator Tuberville for this video because, he's the most preposterous of them all. But what's the point of this, you might ask? Well, part of it is to suck up to Trump. Yeah, in JD's case, part of it is because he wants to be the vice president. Another part of this is because Donald Trump has a gag order on him. And Donald Trump wants to impugn Michael Cohen. He wants to advance conspiracies about the immigration status of people in the courtroom. He wants to insult the judge. He wants to insult the judge's family, but he can't do it for fear that he might go to jail next time. And so he's got his little henchmen out here doing it for him. So I think that's important context when understanding the why of Tommy Tuberville and J.D. Vance's grotesque performance outside the courthouse in New York today. We're going to keep on monitoring this for you. Make sure to subscribe to the Bulwark's feed. We'll be back with another video soon. Peace. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.